Hello and welcome to this NET English Back to Basics video, today focusing on Language Paper 2 for AQA and Question 2. As ever, the idea in these videos is that we'll be talking through a really simple summary of the question, the way it works, how to approach it, and a few good ideas about things you can do with it. Now, by the time you come to question 2 on Language Paper 2, you should already have read both sources and answered question 1. Now, question 2 is slightly different to the other questions that you've looked at so far in your English language. In the question, you're comparing something from the two sources, and it will be something straightforward that's in both of them. So it could be surfboards, schools, children, anything really. You could be asked about what the similarities are or the differences. So just make sure that if it does give you one or the other, similarities or differences, that you spot which one it's asking for. Now, the question isn't asking about what the writers think or what they feel. That's question 4 that does that. And this question isn't asking you to analyse. And that's really important. The question says summary. And what that means is that there are no marks for analysis. So no techniques, no features, no methods, no word classes, no metaphors, similes, none of that stuff. Now, it's an 8-mark question, and you've got 10 minutes. And you're probably going to manage around 2 comparisons in that time. So you marked, essentially, on 3 things. First of all, what is similar or different? Secondly, what's your evidence for it being similar or different? And thirdly, what can you infer from that evidence? Phrased another way, you're looking for what's the same or different, evidence to back that up, and then what you can infer about the difference and evidence. So it's usually difference, evidence, inference. If you analyse, so if you zoom in on words and features and so on, it's not that you lose marks, you just don't gain anything, so it's a waste of time. So here, for example, we might pick out the fact that in source A, the weather is bright and clear at the beginning, whereas in source B, the weather basically involves continuous rain. So that's my difference, right? We've got positive, bright, clear weather in one, and rainy, depressing, continuous weather in the other. Now for source A, I can tell the weather's bright and clear because it describes it as a bright and fresh March morning and as being cold and fresh. But I can also talk about maybe the contrast between the calm, clear weather at the bottom of the mountain and the dangerous fog and rain at the top. In source B, I can tell the weather is simply continuous rain because it describes how it's been raining for 4 long days without any sign of an end. But I can also talk about the way the weather seems to be the same everywhere and is consistent rather than contrasting at different times and places. So that's my evidence and my very brief inference for each one. Now that's one comparison, but I would want another comparison in the time that I've got. So it might end up, for my first comparison, looking something like this. In source A, the weather is clear and dry, described as bright and fresh and cold, fresh. But this is only true at the bottom of the mountain, turning into dangerous fog and rain by the top. In source B, in contrast, the weather is unvarying, commenting that it's been raining for 4 long days without any sign of an end. In source B, the weather seems to be the same everywhere, consistent, rather than contrasting at different times and places as it is in source A. This is likely to be due to the different locations, the urban setting in source B contrasted with the more natural setting of source A. So as you can see, I'm simply making the point, I'm backing it up, inferring a little bit, but also being careful to try and compare a bit between the two as I go. So that's the simple basic version. If I do want to push for higher marks in this question, I'd want to be aiming to write more about what I've chosen. So again, is there another layer of inference? You're far better trying to add depth and development to what you've already written, rather than trying to add more comparisons. A number of short comparisons actually aren't as high mark. With this question, do also watch out for the pitfalls. Make sure you're clear whether it's a similarity or a difference you're looking for. Don't analyse. Make sure you stick to the topic. And don't stray into talking about the thoughts and feelings and perspectives of the writers, because that isn't what this question is looking for. It's very much about the topic that they're giving you. And that is Language Paper 2, Question 2. Hopefully that's been useful. Do remember there's videos covering every other topic on the Net English YouTube channel, so that's Net English 1. And thank you very much for your time today.